Good morning. It's a good day. Got cat buffs coming in 2 days, guys. This is my first time ever being excited playing League of Legends, I think. Okay, Riot Games. Let's see. We got passive AP ratio increased from 55% to 88 to 65% to 95%. Honestly, it's a little bit better. That means if you start AP, that's a little bit more beneficial for you. Also, your Q damage is increased by 5 at all ranks, and the AP ratio is increased by 5%. That's also pretty good. That means your Q does more damage, your daggers do more damage. Obviously, we aren't at the same level of AP ratio that we were at on her dagger 2 years ago, but I mean, they gave a little bit of an early game AP ratio. So that's good because their early game is too weak right now with AP. Our on-hit modifier increased from 28% to 35% to 30% to 40%. I guess they really want to push on-hit effects on her still. So they still want you to go Nashors. Our physical damage increase. So they're buffing AD on-hit again while also buffing AP at the same time. That's probably not a good idea. Yeah, the on-hit modifier is really huge. It's only 2% on rank 1R, but it's 5% on rank 3R, so that's huge. But now it gives you more of an incentive, and it's like, wow, like, yeah, if I build Nashors, like, I'm building an item that has an awful build path, so my early game's even weaker than it's supposed to be. But at least now it scales really well. And at least now I have a little bit more damage in my combo in the early game, early to mid game. And now Nashor scales even better, so it's like more of an incentive to build it, right? But also you can turn the table and be like, wow, maybe 80 on-hit is better as well because higher on-hit modifier and our physical damage increased. So, but still, I probably won't be going on-hit AD. Rarely. I rarely will, even with this change. I don't think it's good for high-elo anymore. Ever since they nerfed your dagger and your AD ratio, it just feels it doesn't feel good going like BORK and high-elo. BORK will still feel good in lower elos, though. Get that pickaxe first base, solo kill your laner on repeat, right? But in high-elo, like, you just can't do that, so usually the BORK build isn't even good, and this isn't even too much of an incentive to make me want to go BORK for scaling. But yeah, I would probably just stick to the same rule. Like if I'm versing Caston or Galio, I'll most likely go for a BORK rush game because I wouldn't want to go AP versus those champs. The 10% increase on AP ratio in the early game, that'll definitely make it feel like you're doing some damage with trades. If you start D-Shield or Dark Seal, that'll definitely help you. It's nothing too insane. Like we did the numbers. The buffs only make it so you do a couple hundred more damage with a full combo. Level 18, 666 AP. Daggers do 826. So what? I'll do this. Full channel ulti, pick up dagger. 7165. Full channel ulti. 7321. That's only 150 damage. These are our numbers. Full combo, it's only like 150 extra damage. Live servers at level 18, same build. 666 AP. Conqueror. Our Q is only doing 38 more damage, right? At level 18, full build. Our full combo did like 150 more damage with full AP. Let's assume in the early game E, W, auto, Q, auto again, auto again. 681. Combo was E, W, auto, Q, auto, E, auto. Pick that up. On PvE, we did 16 more damage with that full combo. Assuming you land like 4 auto attacks on your laner and you start an AP item, you're gaining 16 damage. Probably even less, since this dummy has no resistances. Yeah, overall, you gain around 150 damage in your full combo late game. Nothing too insane. These buffs are a good start, but I still feel like there's more to be done. I think like a good place for them to start is to revert some of the changes they've done in the past. Let me start with this one. 10.10, so this is season 10. They nerfed her AP ratio by 12% at level 16. It was a good change back then. With a full AP build in season 10, you could easily get close to 1000 AP. Now, if you get to like full build, chances are you're only gonna have like 600 to 700 AP. This change was good in season 10, but they should revert it because now you just can't get enough AP, so it's like, what's the point? Like, just go back to 100%, and honestly, it's weaker than what it was in season 10. Not to mention, this one is a big thing. The reason why we lost 5 Moonseed, this is patch 11.10. If this sounds familiar for you, that's because this is the patch before they universally nerfed teleport. This was the meta where everyone was going Ignite teleport on Katarina and Akali, and also every other character in the game in mid and top would run TP, and they decided next patch to universally change teleport to Unleash teleport so that you can't TP until 14 minutes, right? Unless it's on a tower. This was never supposed to even happen. They nerfed her movement speed because they initially didn't realize that was a teleport problem and they thought it was a Katarina problem. So they removed this to get rid of her roaming because she was roaming too much with Ignite TP. They should have reverted it the moment they changed TP to Unleash TP the next patch, but we're still suffering from this. I think they should try their hardest to get rid of on-hit effects. They should like remove on-hit effects from your daggers and your ulti, but keep on-hit effects on your E. That way you can still go an item like Lichbane. They should just remove as much on-hit effects as they can. It's unhealthy for the game, not just for Katarina, but for other characters too. Bel'Veth, Master Yi, and so on. On-hit effects are just unhealthy in general. They make every character just reliant on the on-hit effect item, but they're piss worthless until they get that item, which is just bad. Because other characters can spike at 1k gold, but then some characters spike at like 3,000 or 4,000 gold. Maybe make it so your daggers go to 105% at level 18 or something, or 110% level 18. So it's like 100% at 16, 105 at 17, 110 at 18. Like the character's damage should mainly come from her daggers and her R. But it feels like the past 2 years with the changes they made to her with on-hit effects, all of her damage comes from her E's and her auto attacks, which is just not correct at all. We're just assuming that if they were to remove on-hit effects from your daggers and your alt, that would leave only like Sheen items for on-hit effects. That means you would still have the option for Lichbane in a assassin AP builds. That would give you like 2 very clear build paths every game, which is what like every champion should have usually. If you're going electrocute or first strike going assassin, you would go like rocket belt plus Lichbane and like other standard old AP items, you know, death cap, Zhonya's, whatever. And if you were going conquer, maybe like they have too many tanks, you have to go like tank killing, Riftmaker, demonic, a healthier build, but obviously you do less damage. Nashor Tooth wouldn't be viable anymore. I mean, they should get rid of the item overall. It's just a bad build path. It's bad build path, and it follows the same logic I was saying earlier. On-hit effect items are just not healthy for the game. Yeah, obviously the problems would be solved if they brought back Gunblade, but I mean, actually it still wouldn't because you would lack damage because of the AP ratios and the fact that they've nerfed your AD ratios too much as well. Gunblade wouldn't even be the savior at this point. If they were to bring back Gunblade, they have to like revert your AD ratio nerfs and revert the AP ratio nerfs as well. Gunblade wouldn't even save her right now. Even though the build path is good, it wouldn't be enough, you know? That's the problem. But they really need to like shift the way the character is played. This was like all so random. I don't know what they were thinking. I feel like they're just like trying to do too much stuff with AD ratios, but AD ratios aren't even the problem with Katarina. They just like wanted, I guess, to unpopularize the Sunder build, but this wasn't even the correct way to do it either. Like it already was getting pretty unpopular because of the durability patch. A lot of people started using other items because it was harder to kill. Another problem with Katarina is she doesn't really have any mythic items. If you look at Rocket Belt, the damage is pretty mediocre. You really only use the item for the magic pen and the dash itself. That's it. Whereas when you had Gunblade, you would use the Gunblade in every way, shape, and form. It had Omnivamp, you would use it for the slow, the burst, everything. One thing I've always mentioned is Night Harvester. That would be a good item if the mythic passive wasn't CDR. Sadly, it's CDR, so when you buy the item, you're only doing around 100 to 175 damage per target for the entire game. Of course, they lowered the cooldown recently to 30 seconds, but that's still not enough to make the item good for Katarina. And Riftmaker is just overall not that good of an item. Sure, it can work out in a lot of tankier team comps if you're able to hit the enemy, wait 3 seconds for it to fully proc, and then you go in. But the problem is with that as well, is usually you can't achieve the Riftmaker proc after 3 seconds unless you have Demonic Embrace. If you Q someone, your Riftmaker won't just proc. But if you have Demonic Embrace, you Q someone, run away, your Demonic Burn will eventually proc your Riftmaker, then you can go in. But without Demonic, it just feels way too hard to proc your Riftmaker. A lot of time, I'll have Nashors, and then I'll go Riftmaker second item, and it feels like in a team fight, my Riftmaker will only do 150, 200 damage, right? Because I can't wait to go in. You just have to go in a lot of the time. You can't wait more than 3 seconds. Other characters are able to achieve it, like for example Akali, because she's able to just jump in, stall with her shroud, she can E back, Sonya's everything, right? She's able to stall out her Riftmaker charge up time, let's call it. Whereas Katarina can't do that. I just feel like they don't really know what direction they want to take this character. Like you would expect Katarina to be an early game character, right? An early to mid game character. That's what she's supposed to be. Not early game, but more so mid game. She's supposed to be mid game and then fall off late, right? She's supposed to spike in the mid game, but the problem is now she doesn't even spike in the mid game. She's weak early, she's too weak in mid game to do anything, and then she's just way too weak late game to do anything. You'll still lose 1v1 to a lot of characters, even when you're up like 2 levels. It's just so sad. Overall, Katarina is still not where she used to be, but this is a good step in the right direction. Hopefully after this patch, maybe they'll see how it didn't change too much in her gameplay. Like I said, this patch is more so just quality of life changes rather than a hard buff. You're gonna notice a lot more people dying when they should die. Once again, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.